My name's Dominic McGann, and I'm the chair of the board of Flagship Investments, or FSI. By way of background, my day job is as a partner of McCullough Robertson Lawyers, which is a large commercial law firm in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and the Australian Capital Territory. I'm often what is referred to as a front-end lawyer and work to obtain agreements for infrastructure, renewables, and resources projects, whether from traditional owners, landholders, or relevant state and local governments. So I'm a front-end lawyer that does a lot of negotiating. I have a long association with Flagships, having originally worked with Manny on the float of what was then the Wilson Investment Terrene Fund Limited back in 1998. And happily, I've been associated with the entity ever since, and actually recently went back to look at one of the very early annual reports. And I can report that if nothing else, Manny hasn't aged today. As is often said, nothing's ever certain, but if you look back over the performance of FSI over the years, I think it's fair to say it has a sustained above market performance. And that's, I think, principally due to two things: a particular methodology around management and real discipline in applying that methodology. So I was always attracted to the approach that Manny and the team have. It's principle-based and it's also very disciplined. Why I'm attracted to it is because it is one of the key elements of our broader economy, but it is also it's very complex, and it really rewards a strong methodology with discipline, but also patience. One of the things that particularly interests me about the industry is that tension between a methodology on the one hand and sentiment on the other, and really having the discipline to stay attached to the methodology and not fall in with sentiment. So it's a complex industry, but it's one that certainly interests me, and I gain an appreciation of it every day in my discussions with Manny and the balance of the board. Well, the board of FSI is three. It's Manny as the managing director, Sophie Mitchell, and myself. In addition, we have a very talented company secretary in Scott Barrett and an alternate director in Angela Obery. So there's a lot of talent around the board table at any time. And the approach in that situation as the chair is really to simply allow the talent to realise itself and to adopt a very collaborative approach at the board. It doesn't take a lot of effort, I should say, because each of Manny, Sophie, Scott, and now Angela have a very collaborative approach. So it's really about ensuring the environment encourages and allows collaboration and for the talent to be fully realised. Putting aside the fact that some people accuse me of regarding work as a pastime, when I'm not at work, there are probably two things I do more than anything. One is reading. I read very broadly, and the other is I like to exercise regularly. And just at the moment, in terms of the book I'm reading, it's a particular book called The Evolution of Beauty by a professor from Yale University, Richard Prum. And what it explores is the distinction between what's called adaptive evolution as opposed to aesthetic evolution. And aesthetic evolution gives rise to beauty. Adaptive evolution gives rise to survival of the species. And in a sense, there's a resonance with FSI, because one of the things that FSI does is not to simply stay on a well-trodden path. It's always willing to look at new stocks, provided, as I've just said before, it otherwise meets a particular methodology and performs over time.